Listen up. You don't get strong by being comfortable. You don't build muscle by taking it easy. You don't transform your body by avoiding pressure. Pressure is not the problem. Pressure is the solution. Every time you feel the weight crushing you, every time your lungs burn, every time your legs shake and your mind screams stop, that is not weakness. That is adaptation knocking on the door. But most people don't open it, they back off. They rack the weight, they slow the pace. They quit early and tell themselves a story about listening to their body. No. They're listening to fear. They're listening to comfort. They're listening to the weakest voice in their head and letting it make decisions. And that's why their body never changes. Pressure exposes you. It shows you exactly who you are when things get hard. It strips away excuses. It removes ego. It leaves nothing but effort. You want a powerful body? Then you need pressure. You want discipline. You need pressure. You want confidence that doesn't collapse when life hits back. Pressure builds that too. Steel is forged under heat. Muscle is built under load. Character is shaped under stress. There is no other way. So if you feel overwhelmed in the gym, good. If the workout scares you, good. If part of you wants to quit, perfect. Because pressure isn't there to break you. It's there to build you. And today, you're going to learn how to stop running from pressure and start using it to forge the body, mindset, and discipline you say you want. No excuses, no shortcuts, no backing down. This is where power is built. Pressure doesn't create weakness. It reveals it. When the weight gets heavy, when the clock keeps ticking, when your heart rate is through the roof, that's when the truth comes out. Not the truth you tell people, not the version of you on social media, the real one. Pressure strips away the stories. It exposes habits. It shows discipline or the lack of it. Everyone feels tough when things are easy. Everyone feels motivated on a good day. That means nothing. Who are you when the bar bends? Who are you when the burn doesn't fade? Who are you when you're tired, sore, frustrated, and still expected to perform? That's where pressure does its job. Most people misunderstand this. They think pressure is unfair. They think it's too much. They think they need less of it to progress. Wrong. Less pressure equals less adaptation. Less pressure equals the same body, the same mindset, the same excuses. You don't grow in comfort. You grow in resistance. Muscle doesn't respond to convenience. It responds to load, to stress, to demand. And it's the same with your mind. Every time you face pressure and don't quit, something changes. Your confidence goes up. Your tolerance increases. Your identity shifts. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You start seeing yourself as someone who endures. Pressure is the checkpoint. It asks a simple question. Are you serious or are you just talking? And every rep is an answer. So stop wishing workouts were easier. Stop hoping life would slow down. Stop asking for less resistance. Ask for more capacity. Put yourself under pressure on purpose. Add the weight. Shorten the rest. Finish the set. Because pressure isn't punishment. It's training. While you do rise to OCS line yao you CNTO yo you TRI. Here's a hard truth most people don't want to face. When pressure hits, you don't magically become strong. You don't suddenly become disciplined. You don't rise to the occasion. You sink to the level of your training. That's it. No drama. No excuses. If your training is casual, your response to pressure will be casual. If your training is inconsistent, your performance under stress will collapse. If your training is built on comfort, pressure will crush you. That's why most people fall apart when things get hard in the gym and in life. They never trained for pressure. They avoided it. They tiptoed around it. They kept things manageable. Manageable doesn't build power. Pressure doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care what you plan to do. It only exposes what you've prepared for. You want a body that performs under load. Then you train under load. You want a mind that stays calm when everything hurts. Then you put it through discomfort. Repeatedly. Hard training isn't punishment, it's rehearsal. Every brutal set, every workout where your lungs are on fire, every moment you want to quit, but keep going, you're teaching your nervous system how to operate under stress. You're teaching your mind not to panic. You're teaching your body that pressure is normal, that's power. So, stop saving yourself in training. Stop holding back because you're afraid of being uncomfortable. Stop quitting sets early and calling it smart. A smart is building capacity. Smart is preparing for the worst day, not the best one. because pressure is coming whether you train for it or not. The question is simple. Will it break you, or will it reveal the work you've already done? Start training like pressure is guaranteed. Because it is. Let's call it what it is. Most people don't avoid pressure because they're incapable. They avoid it because it's uncomfortable. Because it exposes them. Because it forces them to confront the gap between who they think they are and who they actually are. Pressure doesn't let you hide. You can't fake strength when the bar is heavy. You can't fake discipline when the timer is running. You can't fake toughness when your body wants out, and the only thing keeping you moving is your will. So people avoid it. They choose lighter weights, longer rest, easier versions. They tell themselves they're being smart, balanced, sustainable. What they're really doing is protecting their ego, because pressure threatens the story they tell themselves. I'm strong. I'm disciplined. I could go harder if I wanted to. Pressure says, prove it. And instead of answering that challenge, most people walk away. That's why the gym is full of motion but short on transformation. Sweat without intent, effort without demand, activity without pressure. And nothing changes. Here's the reality you need to understand if you want an intense gym transformation. Avoiding pressure is choosing weakness. Not immediately, not dramatically, but slowly, quietly. Over time, every time you back off early, you train yourself to quit. Every time you avoid the hard set, you reinforce fear. Every time you choose comfort, you make discomfort more powerful next time. Pressure works the opposite way. You face it once, it hurts. You face it again, it hurts less. You face it consistently, it becomes normal. That's adaptation. That's growth. That's power. Strong bodies aren't built by people who feel fearless. They're built by people who feel the fear, feel the pressure, and step into it anyway. So stop waiting until you feel ready. Pressure is what makes you ready. Step under the bar. Start the clock. Shorten the rest. No excuses. Press your eyes. THR. Pressure teaches lessons. Comfort never will. Comfort lies to you. It tells you you're doing fine. It tells you there's no rush. It tells you tomorrow is just as good as today. Pressure doesn't lie. Pressure tells you exactly where you're weak. It shows you what breaks first. Your lungs, your legs, your focus, your discipline. It points straight at the gaps in your training and says, fix this. And instead of hating that, you should respect it. Because pressure is honest feedback. When your grip fails, you don't complain. You train your grip. When your conditioning collapses, you don't blame genetics. You build conditioning. When your mind quits before your body, you don't make excuses. You strengthen your mind. That's how real progress works. Pressure forces adaptation. Your muscles adapt. Your nervous system adapts. Your tolerance for discomfort adapts. And here's the part most people miss: your identity adapts. You stop seeing pressure as danger. You stop panicking when things get hard. You stop folding the moment the workout turns ugly. You start thinking, I've been here before. I know this feeling. I can handle this. That confidence doesn't come from hype. It doesn't come from quotes. It doesn't come from watching videos. It comes from reps under pressure, from sets you didn't want to finish, from workouts you didn't feel ready for but did anyway. Pressure is a brutal teacher, but it's fair. It gives back exactly what you put in. Avoid it, and you stay fragile. Embrace it, and you become durable. So stop asking for easier days. Start building stronger days. Use pressure as instruction. Use pain as information. Use fatigue as a signal that growth is happening. That's how power is built. This is where everything separates. Because pressure doesn't just test you, it forges you. When the weight is heavy enough, when the pace is fast enough, when the rest is short enough, your body is forced to adapt or fail. And adaptation is power. Muscle fibers tear under pressure, then rebuild stronger. Your heart struggles, then becomes more efficient. Your lungs burn, then expand their capacity. Your mind screams, then learns silence. That's not motivation. That's biology. That's physics. That's reality. Pressure is the stimulus. Power is the response. But only if you stay in the fight. Most people bail out right before the transformation happens. They stop one rep too early. They rack the weight just before growth kicks in. They quit when the discomfort peaks, not knowing that peak is the doorway. You want intense gym motivation? Here it is. The moment you want to quit is the moment the work actually starts. Everything before that was warm up. Everything after that is what builds you. Pressure doesn't reward half effort. It rewards commitment. It rewards finishing the set when your vision blurs and your legs shake. It rewards discipline when motivation is dead. And the more often you do that, the more dangerous you become in the best way. You walk different. You carry yourself different. You stop doubting whether you can handle hard things because you've proven it. Pressure builds power not once, not occasionally. Every single time you stay under it. So next time the bar feels crushing, next time the clock feels ruthless, next time your body begs for relief, smile. That's power being built. This is where most people fail. Not because they're weak, but because they're unfamiliar with sustained pressure. Anyone can go hard for one set. Anyone can push for a moment. But staying under pressure when fatigue stacks, when pain lingers, when doubt creeps in, that's rare. And that's why power is rare. Your body will always look for the exit. Your mind will always search for relief. It will offer you reasons that sound logical. You've done enough. Form is slipping. You can finish strong next time. Sometimes those reasons are real. Most of the time, they're escape routes. Pressure teaches you to recognize the difference. When you stay under pressure, safely, intentionally, repeatedly, something critical happens. You expand your tolerance. What used to feel unbearable becomes manageable. What used to scare you becomes routine. That's not just physical conditioning. That's mental hardening. You start trusting yourself. You stop panicking when things get ugly. You stop looking for permission to quit. And that carries over everywhere. Life pressure hits, you don't fold. Work stress stacks, you don't panic. Responsibilities pile up, you don't run. Because you've trained under pressure on purpose. This is why intense gym training works. It's not just about aesthetics. It's about building a human who can operate when conditions aren't perfect. So when the workout is designed to break you down, don't rush through it. Don't avoid it. Don't cheat it. Stay present. Stay controlled. Stay under pressure. That's where power becomes permanent. Prasa R, my case, Unrecognizable. This is the part nobody talks about. Pressure doesn't just change your body, it changes who you are. After enough days under the bar, after enough brutal workouts, after enough moments where quitting felt logical, but you stayed anyway, you don't recognize yourself anymore. Not because you became reckless, not because you became obsessed, but because pressure rewired you. You stop flinching when things get hard. You stop needing encouragement. You stop waiting for motivation. You just execute. The body changes first, stronger, leaner, harder. But the real transformation happens deeper. Your posture changes. Your eye contact changes. Your tolerance for excuses, yours and everyone else's, disappears. You don't talk about what you're going to do. You don't explain yourself. You don't look for validation. You know what pressure feels like. And you know you can handle it. That's dangerous in the best possible way. Because now, when pressure shows up in life, deadlines, stress, failure, responsibility, you don't panic. You've been here before. You've trained for this in silence, in sweat, in pain, in discomfort. While others avoided pressure, you stepped into it. While others softened, you hardened. While others waited, you worked. And now the gap is obvious. This is why pressure builds power. Not just gym power, personal power. The kind that doesn't collapse when conditions aren't perfect. The kind that doesn't need hype. The kind that doesn't quit. You don't earn that by accident. You earn it rep by rep, set by set, day by day. Pressure didn't break you. It built you.